This property makes my client £2,000 every single month, and the crazy part is he doesn't even own it. That's the power of rent to rent, controlling assets and still getting paid as if you do. Most people think that you need years of savings to get started in property, but they're absolutely wrong. My client Cameron has taken on this rent-to-rent property and he's making more money from it than most people do working full-time. Welcome back, guys, to another YouTube video, and today I'm with my client Cameron and we're going to be going over the rent-to-rent model. So Cameron, what exactly is the rent-to-rent model?
So rent-to-rent basically is where you rent from the landlord and you rent it out either on a nightly or monthly basis for a profit.
So what's the difference then between a normal tenant and a company let agreement?
We are allowed to rent it out on a nightly basis, whereas you'd only be allowed to rent out to a tenant where there's an agreement.
So what you're saying is then basically the difference between an AST tenant and a company let is that with an AST tenant, they are the ones who are living there and they're not allowed to rent it out to anybody else, right?
Correct.
But if you've got a company let agreement, what you're basically doing is you're renting the property and you're renting it back out to guests on a nightly rate, right?
Yes.
And if you were to do that on an AST tenancy, then it's called a sublease, which is illegal. So what this kind of is, to make it really simple, is a legal way to sublease your property, and you're sitting in the middle. So you're basically the meat in between the two loaves of bread, right?
I'm the middleman, yeah.
You're the meat in between the bread. So is rent to rent potentially better than buy to let?
I would say so, because with rent to rent, you can start off with a lot less capital, whereas a buy to let potentially could be 30 to 40, maybe even more.
Yeah, 100%. So you need more money to get started, whereas this is great for people who don't have that initial capital. And also another thing is that the interest rates have gone so high, it's very difficult then for landlords to make money on properties that they own because they have to pay these interest rates to keep going up, right? You know, you're able to earn more money with less money up front. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer really, isn't it?
No-brainer. Is rent to rent a good start for someone wanting to get on the property ladder?
Yes, I would definitely say so. It's a good way of generating some good cash flow, which can lead to financial freedom, whereas you give you more time, not working a 9 to 5 and stuck in the rat race. So yeah, 100%.
Cameron, I love what you've done with the place. How much have you spent and what have you spent the money on?
I spent about 3,000 in total on the entire property. That would include obviously new sofa, brand new large TV, new washing machine, new fridge, and all the utilities and all the little bits and extras that come with it.
Right. So you've done the entire house for £3,000, and how long did that take you?
It's taken me roughly 6 or 7 weeks. It was
7
a lot of hard work, but you know, it was all worth it in the end.
And I remember trying to hurry you because we wanted to get it on Airbnb as quickly as possible, because the sooner it's on Airbnb, the sooner we can start making money off it, right?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
And what sort of people are you going to be targeting then? Who's going to stay in this property and who's been staying at this property?
Well, there's a good variety of different people, but mainly contractors, NHS workers, or just couples looking to have a nice break away for the weekend.
Because we're right next to the hospital, aren't we?
Yeah, literally 5-minute drive away, yeah, so it's a prime location, yeah.
So I think I remember you saying you've got a doctor staying here like every weekend. He's booked every single weekend of the year, right?
Yeah, 100%, yeah, he's chuffed and it's going really well, yeah.
Yeah, no question. So what were some of the struggles that you had getting your first rent-to-rent unit?
I think some of the main struggles and the generic struggles that most people are probably going to go through with rent-to-rent is obviously building the trust with the landlord, building that relationship, explaining to them that obviously it's not going to be me who's staying in the property, it's going to be my company and the people that obviously I let or rent out to, being the NHS workers, the contractors, the couples and whoever may like to stay in the area. But obviously when we got past that phase and we built that relationship, they seen that it was the benefit them and also the benefit me, because it's a hands off for them. They don't have to worry. It's guaranteed rent for them every month.
Right.
We manage the property, take care of any damages.
A win-win for you and a win for the landlord, right?
Yeah.
So I remember there was one point where you called me up and you actually told me that you don't want to do this anymore. I think you said you wanted your money back. I can't remember now actually, but you wanted your money back. You didn't want to do this anymore, and your belief system was like your belief was at an all-time low. Can you share like what that was like, and you know, for other people who might be going through the same thing, and how you actually pulled through it?
Well, yeah, at first it was a very scary thing for me. It took a lot out of me to actually go through with this. because obviously when you don't see instant results, your initial reaction or your initial thought is to maybe think, oh, maybe I might back out, or this might not work for me. But that's thanks to having a good coach who kept me accountable, put me in the right direction, and to make this whole dream and thing a reality, you know.
Sounds like you were having doubts and you thought, well, I want to get out now before I get in any deeper. And it sounds to me like you were really nervous that if you got in too deep that you might make a mistake and you can't recover from?
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Okay. And let me ask you this, you know, let's say that this didn't work out. You know, you're quite a young guy. Like, do you think you would have survived?
Oh yeah, I definitely would have survived. It's just the thought of what if it don't, after putting all the effort in, what if it doesn't turn out to be what it is? But that's where you need a coach to hold you accountable and to point you in the right direction and just give you that bit of guidance you need to believe in yourself, you know?
Yeah, it seems like you got a lot of benefit from having somebody in your corner. Are there people in your life then that were potentially talking you out of it?
Oh yeah, definitely. At the beginning, there was loads of people who said, oh, you're crazy investing all this money, and all the generic things that people say to you at the beginning when you're starting out. But then obviously when you start to get a bit of momentum, the snowball effect, then they all clap you on the back end. So it's a bit ironic, really, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, it's funny how people say a large amount of money. Well, you know, this rent-to-rent costs you about £5,000 in total, maybe six. For me, and like in the grand scheme of things, that's actually not a lot of money, especially when you have the potential to make a return of £2,000 every single month, and you've been doing that, right? So you can potentially get your money back in 3 months. Whereas if you were to put that money in Bitcoin or the stock market, right, you're never going to see that kind of return. And plus, once you've got your original investment back, now you're just getting the cash flow every single month. You're ready to invest it into the next project.
100%.
But would you say that you need to get the confidence from seeing that first one go through before you're able to scale and take it to the next level?
Well, yeah, I definitely recommend to anyone who's thinking of getting into the rent. Just take it slow and steady, you know, it's marathon or sprint. Obviously get your first pop, you see how that goes. Obviously if it goes well from there, then look to grow and expand.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
100%, yeah. So obviously at the beginning with the rent scheme, I thought, you know, is it too good to be true? Is it really real? These people are saying on Instagram and TikTok that you can make £2,000 a month cash flow profit with only starting with £5,000 to £6,000 initial investment. Yeah. And to begin with, that was my initial thought. But when I dived into it deeper, obviously done my research, looked at other people in the industry, see what sort of money they were making and sort of moves they were making. Sort of changing my mindset to this is a realistic thing and this is actually a legitimate business, so you can actually escape from the rat race, enjoy a financially free lifestyle.
What you said just then is really interesting to me, because, you know, people do say things like, oh, it's too good to be true. But if they say that about everything, then they're never going to have anything good in their life, because they have this belief that it's too good to be true, so they won't even go and investigate. They won't stay open-minded to the possibilities that, hey, maybe this does work. And that's the thing that I think holds people back. And I would say that's a big shame. And I just wanted to say, like, massive congratulations to you for actually pushing through that barrier and saying, hey, do you know what? Like, maybe this is too good to be true, but I'm going to try it anyway. And look now, you've got the results. You've got your first rent-to-rent. You're looking to get your second one. And, you know, I know you're in talks of getting a HMO rent-to-rent now. So you're proof that it's not too good to be true. So why do you think then people are skeptical about starting the rent-to-rent model?
I think most people are probably more skeptical about the rent-to-rent model is where their lack of education, lack of understanding. Maybe they haven't seen it before. It's not your traditional buy-to-let or your mortgage or these sort of things. It's something foreign to people. So when they see something they're not used to, a normal reaction is to, oh, it's a fraud. It's not realistic. It's not a real thing, whereas it is.
Yeah, I like the quote that people hate what they don't understand.
100%. Yeah, if it's something that's foreign to you, then you're not going to understand it, and you might not realise that it is an actual genuine thing. Yeah,
no, that makes. I'm completely with you on that. So what's the one thing that pushed you to do this?
I'd say the main thing that pushed me to do this more than anything is stability and financial freedom and a way of escaping my 9-to-5 job and going into property full time.
How many properties then do you feel like you need in order to replace your income?
For me personally, to replace my income, I think I would need roughly about 5 properties to replace my 9 to 5 income.
5 properties?
Yeah.
Making anywhere from £1,000 to £2,000 a month?
Correct.
And then what would you do then?
I'd look to then reinvest the money that I made from my rents to possibly go down to BRRs, flips,
Yeah.
and venture into possibly buying my own property.
Cool. And I'm going to be able to help you with that one because we just got back from one of my BRRs now. It's like all money out, so I can teach you how to do that. So what profit margins are we looking at on this one?
So this particular property, we're looking between anywhere from £1,000 to £2,000 a month clean profit, depending on obviously the occupancy rate.
Profit?
Yeah.
So how much is it per night?
The nightly rate is at the moment is £88 a night.
£88 a night.
£100 a night on weekends.
£100 a night? Wow, okay. So even if we just do £88 a night, if you were full for the month, that'd be £2,640. What's your rent?
£750.
£750. So minus £750, we're still at £1,890.
Let's call it £1,000 all in.
88 times 30 minus 1,000. Yeah, so you make 1,640, but that's not including the weekends, which are £100 a night. So that's what takes you up to that 2,000 then.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Well, £2,000 a month, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many buy-to-let properties would you have to have in order to make £2,000 a month?
I don't know the exact figure, but I know it'll be a lot more than 1 or 2
Well,
properties.
yeah, I mean, the average buy-to-let is making around about £300 to £400 right now. So, you know, if we had 5 of those making £300, then that's £1,500, right? But you're making £2,000. So even if you had 5 buy-to-lets, that can't compete with your 1 rent-to-rent. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what would you say then to the viewers who are looking to get started with rent-to-rent?
So for the viewers listening to this and are thinking about getting into rent, obviously do your research, know the area, know the nightly rate and the occupancy rates. Make sure that the place that you're targeting is in high demand. Because obviously you want to be breaking even at 50%. So I work out all these figures before delving into it first.
Right. So when you say breaking even at 50%, what does that mean?
So 50% occupancy, obviously being 15 nights out of the 30 nights in a month.
Yeah.
That wants to cover your rent, your bills and everything included. So anything upon that, past that point, then you're into some serious profit.
It's profit, right. So what you're saying is, if it's full for half the month and you still haven't paid your rent, your running costs, your council tax, and you know you're still in the red, then don't take it on because you don't want to risk losing money every month.
100%, yes.
Right, that's a really good piece of advice. So what would you recommend to someone who's got capital, they want to invest, they want to get started with rent to rent? What would you recommend they do?
So I recommend the first thing you do is obviously you want to reach out to either a coach or mentor that can obviously help guide you through step by step and go through all the procedures and everything that's necessary to start a rent-to-rent business. So obviously when I first started, I didn't have a clue. That's where you came in and made me feel comfortable, and give me the confidence, give me the guidance, all the knowledge I needed to pursue this and make it a reality, really.
Love that, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So.
I remember when I was just like you, watching YouTube videos, trying to figure it out on my own, and then I got a mentor and everything changed. I learned the system step by step and it worked. Click the link below, book a strategy call, and I'll show you how to get your first rent-to-rent deal. You don't need savings, you don't need more knowledge, you just need a plan to get you from A to B with structured mentorship from me. Can't wait to see you on the other side. I'll see you there. Click the link below.
Got the blueprint, money where the roof went. Deals on the table, every move is prudent. Flipping properties, no circus, no clowns. Turn a vacant lot to a king's compound. He don't do the stress, let the contracts flex. Rent the rent move, stacking checks on checks.